Hello and welcome. Cheers to each and every one of you playing this episode. Don't forget to stay in the know, to look out for our social media posts on Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the episode notes. Welcome back, Gems, to another wonderful episode of the Graceful Gem podcast. I am your host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today's episode, we're going to be talking about the price of letting go. So stick around because gems are definitely about to be dropped. Stay tuned. What's up, you guys? I am super excited to be here on the podcast today. I know it has been a while since I have done a podcast, but let me tell you, your girl has been busy. Your girl has been busy with life, trials, tribulation, all of that good stuff. But furthermore, we are not here to talk about that. For one, I just want to say today is going to be the last episode of our season 2 called Game Mode because God said, Checkmate, it is finished. I am so excited about this word because I have written down this podcast name a couple days ago. I can't remember exactly, but I have a list of podcast episodes that I need to record. And I was watching a video today about just a lesson and a word from God. And the person mentioned this word. And I said, Lord, it gave me chills because I'm like, wait a minute. I literally said this. I am in a checkmate season where I'm getting it done and it's finished. God said, whatever you're going through, it is done. We're not in game mode no more. Like, it is done. So I'm super excited to be here. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, but I'm just happy that you guys are tuning in and listening. Again, my apologies for being MIA, but your girl is here today. Okay? So let's get into it. So I'm super excited about this podcast episode because I was sitting here and I was listening to it, and when she said, like, checkmate, it just resonated with me so well because I'm like, Lord, like, I literally remember sitting here a couple days ago. It was literally a couple weeks ago. And I said, Lord, you know what? I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm busy building. I'm checking off the things on the list that you told me to do because I ain't got time to be worried about what's going on with this person, that person. I got to stay in my lane and focus on going forward. And if I'm in my lane and you tell me to stop and help somebody in another lane, then I'm going to do that. But by the end of this year, I need to be able to check it off. And I said, I'm in a checkmate season. When you see me, checkmate. When you want to try to get me out of my, what was I saying? You want to get me out of my position, I'm going to stand still. Checkmate. When I try to be stern and upset, God, I'm going to have grace. Checkmate. I'm doing everything that you're calling me to do because I know that I'm in the season of checking off the list. And you say that it's finished and I'm claiming that. And I don't have to worry and stress about it. And it's so funny because I was sitting here and I was like, God, where is that Bible verse that I wanted to look for when he talks about it is finished and it is done? So I resonated with John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And I know you may be saying, oh yeah, we all know this. Okay, girl, give us a little bit more context. No worry. Keep listening. I got you. So I resonated with John 3:16 because it talks about how everything of this world has already been conquered. God has defeated the world. He's the winner. You know what I'm saying? At the end, it's glory. So the things that we're going through today can't overtake us. The devil tries to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to come in and corrupt us and create chaos in situations where we feel like we have no power. In situations where we feel like we're inadequate. He wants to come in and tell us that we're not able to do the things that God has called us to do. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but I know what this looks like for me. This whole year, I've been questioning, am I a great parent? Am I doing what I need to do for my son? Am I a great friend? Am I doing what I need to do for my friends? Am I a great daughter? Am I a great sister? Am I a great Jasmine? Am I the person that God has called me to be in this day and this time? Am I in the right places that I'm supposed to be? And God confirmed to me that yes, everything that you're doing in your life is what was already written for you. Don't ever let time or other people or inadequacy tell you that you should be somewhere else sooner. And I think too, for some of us, I don't know if this applies to you or not. If it doesn't, don't receive it. But I really feel like a lot of us need to spend some time off social media. A lot of us need to get into a point where that's not the 90% of our day. You know what I'm saying? We have 24 hours in a day. And I know with even myself, this ain't coming for nobody. I'm coming for myself. But I'm just saying that I know there's times where I need to get stuff done. And I'll get overwhelmed and I'll be like, okay, I can't do this. I'm not able to do this, God. I don't know why I said I could do this. I don't know why you called me. I don't know why you're choosing me. I don't know why you've given me this task because I can't fulfill it. And then I say, okay, I need a break. I get up, go sit down, and then I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling, and then 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes, 10 minutes turns into 30 minutes, 30 minutes turns into an hour turns into 3 hours, 3 hours turns into the rest of the night, and then it's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting here like, okay, let me go back to work on the thing that I was supposed to be working on, but now I can't really focus on it because it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm halfway tired, I have to get up in the morning, I have this to do, that to do, and I can't put the energy where it needs to be put because I wasted so much time on Instagram, looking at other people's lives, admiring other people's businesses, admiring other people's relationships, admiring other people's outfits, their looks, their attributes, their life, when really all I'm getting is a glimpse into what I see. I don't really see the real part. I don't see the picture behind what it took to take that picture. I only see a glimpse of a moment. It takes 2 seconds to take a picture. So I'm looking at 2 seconds into someone's life, and then I'm questioning my own life. So I think that it's super important to just have better time management and stewardship on my behalf when it comes to social media, because I will waste so much time thinking what if, and if I'm supposed to be here. And God said, listen, you are where you're supposed to be. And I know sometimes people think that, oh no, if only I could have done this, if only I could have did this differently, I would be somewhere else. But let me tell you something, God planned our lives. And even though sometimes we feel like, oh, I could just change this, at the end of the day, if you're going through it, God planned it for you. And He's taking you through it because you have the strength to get through it. You're a fighter, you're a warrior, and you can come through and come out of this stronger than you went in. And then when the next trial comes, you come in and you go out stronger than you went in. And sometimes you may fall, sometimes you want to give up, sometimes you feel inadequate, but then God reminds you that I equipped you with everything you need. It's finished. It is well. I have overcome this world. You don't have to subdue to the things that are coming to defeat you. The Lord will give you strength in your battles. You continue to be steadfast in His word and get around people who can speak to you and speak life into you and pray on your behalf. And I say this a lot. Get around people who can push you into purpose. If you ain't around nobody that can push you into purpose, then you're not going to be able to be pushed into purpose because you don't have nobody holding you accountable. If you can't hold you accountable and your friends can hold you accountable, and if you're pushing the people away who are holding you accountable, where's the accountability? Quick answer, there is none. But I'm just super ecstatic because I know that this wasn't too long, but I got my point across, and I wanted to encourage someone today to tell them that Checkmate, the Lord said it is finished, it is done. This season of our lives is closing, and we're walking into a new season. We're walking into something new. God is doing a new thing, and don't stray away from the new thing that God is doing, because even though sometimes we don't know what the unknown is, we know that if we're going into the unknown with God, we're definitely secure. And I know that it's hard for us to grasp that sometimes, but we have to know that if God called us through it, man, He will see us through it. And I want to leave you with this. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. You have to proclaim this over your life and receive that God has finished it. It is done. He's doing something new. So whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is that you can't get your mind off of, whatever it is that's blocking your blessings, whoever it is that's blocking your blessings, and sometimes it could be you. I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for y'all, but I can speak for me and say that a lot of things that has happened to me, I've had to take accountability for because God showed me, and I'd rather continue to pray and put hope into it. And it reminded me of the story between Saul and David. And when, I think it's Samuel, please forgive me, Bible scholars, because I love this story, but I always get them mixed up. But I think it was Samuel who went to anoint David when Saul was getting ready to be released from being king. So if I'm wrong, correct me. I can't pull that Bible verse up right now. But anyways, that ain't the point. The point is, God said, why are you still weeping? How long are you going to mourn over something that I've called finish? How long are you going to mourn? God said, fill your cup up with oil and go down to Jesse's house and anoint David. Because Samuel couldn't wrap his mind around the fact that he was no longer going to be calling not David, but Saul, king. David would be anointed as king. And it's crazy because even though we're in a season where God has closed this chapter, let's not forget that David was anointed king, but he still had to steward. He was still in the field, tending to the sheep. So you have to understand that even when God elevates you, it doesn't mean that your position elevates. It doesn't mean that he moves you physically out of the place where you've gotten elevation. Because sometimes we feel like, okay, God is elevating me to a new place, so why am I still here? Why I've done my due diligence here? No, you haven't. God gave you a new position here. He gave you new power and authority over that area there. But you still have some work to do. You still have some things to get through. And it was when David was tending to the sheep and doing what it was that God used him. And he defeated Goliath. So don't take where you're at. Don't take where you're going for mistaken because you think that, okay, God is calling me from big corporate to entrepreneurship. So now I have to walk out of my corporate and walk immediately into entrepreneurship, because you can still have that title at your corporate location. If God said, okay, I'm taking you from single to married, you don't have to continue to walk into a mindset where it's like, okay, I can't do this no more. God, you said this, you said that. Why haven't I did this and this? Because if God said it, it's going to come to pass. You have to remember that sometimes God gives you the elevation in the same place where you were. So you have to remember, don't take the place where you're at for granted. Because if you're still there and God has elevated you to a new position, it means that God is still working on you. Yeah, you've got elevation, but he still got to do some pruning in you. Yeah, you got elevation and you're going places, but he still has to work on your attitude. He still has to work on your mindset. He still has to work on your faith. He still has to prune you so that when somebody says something to you that's out of pocket, you know how to control your mouth. Because words, life and death lies within the tongue. And just as fast as you can snap and just as fast as you can go off on somebody, not God, but just as fast as you can snap and go off somebody, you can lose what it is that God, or put in jeopardy what it is that God has for you because of one wrong mistake. We've seen it all over the world, where one wrong decision can cost you everything. So be encouraged. Thank you for listening. I hope you stay tuned for more episodes. Remember, being grateful makes you gorgeous.